into. I think we all get into it every now and then. The ers, you know, trying to make that bridge.
I'd like to answer
Yes,
that.
please,
We
Gail,
do
if you
have
would.
someone called an ah counter. That person will count every single ah, ooh, but repeated words that you would use throughout the evening. If you've been up on stage 3 times, that person's going to keep counting it. You're going to report at the end of the meeting how many times you've done it. And then you just need to make yourself aware of it, practice not to.
And how do you break it, though? What do you do? Just pause?
Better to pause, and I think, again, just with practice and really keeping it in the back of your head and practicing. And as far as gestures go, I think some people are a little too flamboyant when they're up on the stage, and it almost looks unnatural. And that's when I think they are overdoing the gestures.
Okay, what do you tell them about it, though? If they're overdoing it, what do you tell them?
It's in the evaluation that they should watch this.
What should they do, though? What I'm getting at, what should their gestures look like, or what should their hands look like?
Let me mention that.
Sure.
First of all, there's an area that you're involved in. What I mean by an area that you're involved in, if you're using a lavalier like we have on now,
yes,
if we were walking, you can walk a little bit. If you're using a mic, you have to be in front of the mic and not move away from the mic. As far as the ahs and ums, what I just did.
Pause.
Right.
Take a breath.
You take a breath. You're done with a sentence, you take a breath. You're done with a paragraph, you take a breath, and you look to the next person. And then you start talking to that person. And then you hesitate. And then you start again. So that gets rid of a lot of ums and ahs.
Yes.
And that's with practice. I've been in Toastmasters 18
Yeah, you
years.
said, yeah.
The first time I told me about it, I was into 10, 12 ahs and ums when I spoke.
Yeah.
And then I practiced on the computer, and I practiced on the telephone, listening to my tape, what I said. Now, because I'm in 18 years, I'm down to 1 ah or 1
That's
I'm
very
getting
good.
better.
You're
I'm getting
there. I
better.
think we all can improve in that area.
Definitely.
Well, the point of, or Gail, you may answer this since you're a recent member of the Toastmasters, about the nerves. How long do you feel it takes people to get rid of the nervous tension? Do they ever get rid of it? Should they get rid of it?
I think I mentioned earlier, I am doing a presentation called the Hawaiian History and Culture, which is an hour long.
Right.
I've been doing it for 2 years. This is the start of my 3rd year. I don't get nervous anymore, but I've been doing it for 2 years. I would say for the first 6 months, 8 months, nervous every time I had one booked.
Sure.
I found that with doing those, if I had more booked on a regular basis, perhaps 2 or 3 per week, I was better. I didn't have the nerves. But I'm going to tell you something else that happened.
Please.
1 week, I had one booked in a 7-day week 4 times. When I got to the 3rd and the 4th one, I was almost bored with hearing myself.
With your own material. Huh?
So it's an odd thing
Right.
that you could do the same presentation too often, and I feel to myself, if I don't sound interesting to myself or really inwardly, I'm not nervous, but I feel bored with this, how are they responding to me?
Yeah, but I think that's what Broadway actors face, isn't it? The illusion of the first time they've done the same show 200, 250 times.
Exactly.
But to this audience tonight,
It's
it's the
the
first,
first time,
So
right.
you always have to maintain that illusion, right, of the first time.
Exactly.
Talking about being nervous, one
sir.
of the important things about Toastmasters is the fact that members join the club to become better speakers. Why?
Yes.
Because they have to present at work.
That's
What
correct.
do they
That's
do
what I
at the
was gonna get
meeting?
at. Yes, sir.
What do we do at the meeting? We allow them, using body language, using vocal variety, to
Everything.
practice a part of their speech at the meeting. See, a Toastmaster meeting is a laboratory. You mix.
Well said.
When you get done mixing, if it blows up, you try again.
That's
and
correct.
when it works right in the laboratory, then it's going to work right outside.
Well said. I think that's very important,
And
particularly
that's
today.
what Toastmasters is about. It's about laboratory work. It's about practicing inside.
Okay, and Gail, I know you had started to talk a little bit about it before. How do you measure progress? What metrics do you use? What kind of evaluation
Well,
takes place
the
so people know
evaluations.
where they've come from, where they're
Sure.
going to? Could
At
you
the
talk about
at the
that a
end
little
of
bit?
every project, as Paul showed you earlier, Oh, here's one right here. Get to the point. Here's the evaluation page that was done on myself. So that evening when you do your speech, you will be evaluated.
Why?
Now,
Whom?
another member.
Another member,
All right.
one specific member.
Right.
Okay.
Now, if you were very disappointed in yourself and how the speech turned out, and even the evaluation, and you should like to do this particular speech again, you may for improvement.
Oh, okay.
Midway in the book, and at the end of the book, someplace here, is going to be a place where you're going to evaluate yourself.
Okay.
You may also speak personally to other members. If something is bothering you in your progress, that'll be fine. As I said earlier, everyone gets better if they keep working on the projects, come to the meetings, and keep doing the speeches. It has to happen.
Yeah, I think like anything else, the more you do it, the more you get comfortable.
It will.
There's a stumbling block with most of the people watching right now who are afraid to speak in public. When they go through a program like this, if there is a stumbling block or one particular place where they bog down or they can't quite get over that little hurdle, what is it? What is that hurdle that people struggle with?
It's different. It's different hurdles with each person.
Really?
It really is. Some people, we talked about ums and ahs. Some people, as Gail said, they're all over the place. Other people, and I've said to them, do you have glue on your shoes?
Yeah, they freeze. You mean
Take a
place.
step now and then. So each person is their own individual, and they have their own problems and they have their own benefits. And the benefits they're going to work on and get better at. The problems we're going to change and change them from a problem to a benefit.
Well, there must be a gratification, particularly for you with 18 years experience and Gail as a newcomer too. You actually, I think, in a program like yours, you can actually see improvement.
Definitely.
They come in here in January or February, and by June or July, you can actually see measurable improvement.
Absolutely.
Definitely. I was going to say another stumbling block for myself sometimes even is thinking of your topic for that particular project. What I tell a lot of people, especially those that are new, and this is for myself, is talk about your own personal experiences in life. If we really sit down and think about it, we've all gone through different things, and many of them can be applied to these projects.
Sure.
You know, to really think about it, or interests that you have and so forth. So another one would be just thinking of the topic. Some people have a very difficult time putting their words together to communicate. The book is here to help you, and we're here to help you.
Okay. Thank you, Gail. Paul, I see you looking at a list that we had chatted about before we went on the air, and that's the famous Toastmaster graduates. Just give us a couple of highlights.
A few highlights. James Brady, 2-term press secretary for President Reagan. Peter Coors, chairman of Coors Brewery. Debbie Fields, founder of Mrs. Fields Cookies. Linda Lingle, the governor of Hawaii. We had more than that, but we had 2 astronauts, James Lovell and John Young. Leonard Nimoy, an actor.
Oh, Leonard Nimoy.
Nimoy from Star Trek. Right.
Okay.
From Star Trek.
We don't have enough time. I can go through a list of them.
Interesting. Gail, if as the Vice President of Public Relations, a couple things, if I may, to get right down to the nitty-gritty.
Sure.
How do people in Old Bridge, for instance, how do they find out about Toastmasters? How are they going to find out about it, that, within this program? How do they find out it exists?
They can go on our Toastmasters website, which is www.toastmasters83.org.
Okay.
They can email me, which is gsmall523@verizon.net. They can watch the Suburban newspaper, because I put an ad in there every month. And we do meet on the 2nd and 4th Thursdays of every month from we start at 7. We usually finish between 8:30 and 9.
Okay.
Our normal meeting place is the Grace Church of Old Bridge, located on Cottrell Road. But we do occasionally meet at the library, and I want to emphasize, March the 24th at 7 o'clock, we will be at the Old Bridge Library.
Okay.
Please, everyone is invited to come to find out what Toastmasters is all about. We will do speeches. We will be giving information for people to take home. We'd be more than happy to speak with you individually.
Okay, that's a good point. So you meet the 2nd and 4th Thursday
Of
each
every month, yes.
From 7 to 9, roughly.
Yes.
But, and Paul, I think we discussed this off the air, and that is if people do want to come, they can sort of taste it and sample it. They're not going to be pushed in front of the room to start talking right away.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely.
We encourage them to come 1, 2, 3, 4 times to check it out, to make sure it's right. Yes, we want everybody to go to Old Bridge, but let me say this. Go to any club.
Right.
Check it out and see what you like.
Okay, and Gail, one thing, if I may, an important thing these days, how much are the dues?
All right, the membership periods are either 6 months or 1 year. For 6 months, it will cost you $27. Very small amount of money to pay for this sort of help. For 1 year, it is $54.
Okay.
You come when it is convenient for you to come, but I really would encourage people to try to come to as many meetings as they can and to begin working when they're ready on their projects.
Okay, well, Gail, I'll tell you, it seems like it's really taken hold with you. You seem very passionate about it and very involved.
I believe in it very much.
And if I may, what would you like to say to the residents? I'll let you close it out here. What would you like the residents to know about Toastmasters that you haven't said already?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, it is a common problem to be nervous about speaking in front of people. I think also people have a problem with just communication in general. Please come and find out about it, no matter what your age is. And college students, Toastmasters is for you also. It'll be a shame that you wrote an A grade report, but when you went to give it in front of your class, it was not considered to be an A. I think we all know what I'm talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're there to help you to know how to deliver it properly. It's just a great organization. It's there to help everyone.
Okay, thank you. And Paul, I think as an 18-year veteran of Toastmasters, as a distinguished Toastmaster, you've got to feel good that one of your recent pupils has done so well, huh?
Absolutely. She's done absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
And I read off some names of well-known people that have done fantastic. So it's a great organization, and it's for anybody and everybody.
Okay, well said. And I certainly want to thank you for coming out tonight. Paul Scharf, Gail Small from
Thank you.
Toastmasters International. Folks, if you're like most of us, you feel terror-stricken, fearful of getting up in front of a room, it is a very common fear. Every opportunity is presented by Toastmasters for you to overcome this fear, to assist your learning and your business, and be better presenter, better equipped to make an impression on people. That's the Let's Talk About It for this time. I want to thank you for watching. I'm Gene McLaughlin. We'll see you next time. Take care.